Hi, I'm Ambry and this is Ambry's Corner and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I was gonna do a fashion over order in the day. But I attempted to do the video and I just don't feel like it didn't come out right to me. I don't know. I guess I wasn't comfortable with showing y'all the kind of stuff yet. Maybe one day later on I might do it again. I might try it again with something else. But with this, I wasn't comfortable with showing it to you, and I don't know. But we'll try it again another day and we'll see how it go. Okay. But I'm just gonna do like a little story time because I've been wanting to get some videos up for you guys. The video I was gonna attempt to film, I'm not quite ready to film it yet. I'm still working on a few things, so I might wait until maybe the New Year's or after New Year's to film that video, and instead of that video you'll get this one instead of that one. The week of my birthday. So let's just get into this story time. Okay, so this story time is about the Christmas. It's a Christmas story time. I think this happened like maybe a year or two ago. Maybe a year or two ago. Yeah, I think this was like the very first Christmas, maybe the second Christmas we had at my auntie them's new house, new home. So I think it's maybe this is it. I'm not sure. But anyway, so every Christmas, it don't matter where we at, what we're doing. Every Christmas, we all kind of gravitate to one house. That's me, my mama, her two sisters, and all their kids. We all gravitate to one house, and it's been that way for as long as I can remember. Even when my grandparents was living, I told y'all about the house we owned up on the hill. I wanted to tell you about a story about the time that girl broke that window. I might tell you there's another one about when my cousin broke a window on that hill too. But I'll tell you about that another day. But this girl, so even when we was up on the hill, I know I told y'all about the hill we lived on that my grandparents owned, and my granddad's mom owned the house at the bottom of the hill. And when she passed, my granddaddy's sisters it obviously got left to them. So when she passed, they got it, and my mom ended up moving in the house. A few years, like a year or two later, I think, not a year too later, but a few years later, me and my mom ended up moving in there because she was ready to venture out on her own, and that house was close to my grandparents, so she chose that house, and she really didn't have to pay no rent for real because we were basically family. So, but even when we was living on the hill, no matter where all of us lived at, we all came to one house on Christmas Day, my grandparents' house. It never failed. Even now that my grandma and granddaddy gone, God rest their soul, we still do the same thing. We all venture to one house. So when we was on the hill, we would go up the fence to my grandparents' house, and we spend Christmas Day. So we go up there in the mornings, like, so obviously we would have Christmas at our house first because our parents would get us gifts and stuff like that. And then after we got our gifts at home, my grandma or my granddaddy would call and tell my mama them they put on coffee and they were cooking breakfast, and then everybody need to come on up to the house so we could all open gifts together. It never fails. It happens like this every year. And now that my grandparents are here, they don't do it. My auntie them call, and my mom is a coffee fanatic, y'all. My mama does not move without coffee. She can't function during the day without it. So as soon as she gets up, she has to have coffee, and it never fails. If they tell my mom, say, y'all come over here, we got coffee going, we got coffee brewing, everybody up, y'all come over here, I got gifts for y'all. We'll drive over there. I'm probably gonna have to drive this year since my mama has she has officially made me the designated driver in the house now, so I have to drive all the time now. It's a thing with us now. I drive everywhere. She doesn't drive no more. She's officially stop driving, period, unless she going to work. But if she's at home on the weekend, I'm at home, I'm driving. No matter where we go, I'm driving. that's just how things are, and I guess that's how it is when you get your license. But and she, anytime I complain about it, she be like, "Oh, you should be grateful because most parents won't get in their car with their kids after the first 2 years. You should be glad that I want to get in the car with you. That means you're a good driver." I don't mind you want to get in the car with me. I just don't want to drive all the time, lady. Like, no, that's not a thing here. I'm not finna drive, but I don't mind because as much as my mom done for me, I don't even want to complain about it. So it's whatever. I'll drive for her any day. Anyway, so they'll call us and they're like, "Oh, we got coffee going, we got breakfast going. Y'all come over here, eat, and we can open gifts or whatever." And so when my grandmother then was leaving, they wouldn't let us touch gifts until after everybody eating. So they cook breakfast for everybody, and we eat and we talk and we have a merry time. And then my grandma and my granddad said, "Okay, y'all can open gifts. Y'all, all the kids can go ahead and open gifts, and then we'll start they'll start giving gifts out and stuff like that." So that's every Christmas. It never fails. So when my grandparents them died, they moved. My family actually moved off from up on the hill. And I forgot to tell you what this story was. The name of the story is the time Mama locked her keys in the car on Christmas Day. Now imagine this happening. My mom done this a lot, but this time it happened on Christmas Day. Anyway, so after that we ended up the house that my grandma them owned. It started to become like it wasn't safe for them to be up there because the house was falling apart, and my grandparents them didn't really have the money to keep it up and stuff like that. So my auntie ended up finding like a little apartment, like a 3-bedroom apartment, because really it was just my auntie and her son, and then it would be my grandma and granddad. And they would have room in the bathroom to themselves, and my grandma and my auntie then would have the other side of the house to themselves. So they moved in there. So they all moved in together. And my granddad fought tooth and nails. He didn't want to go, and we believe that is the reason why because I think maybe they was in the house, they was in the apartment for maybe a couple months, and then he died. Like, I don't even think they was in that apartment that long before he passed. Maybe a year. I can't even tell you if it was a year. Maybe a year. That's how long they were there, and then he passed. But since I can remember, we've always ventured to one house, just depending on who house. Maybe it was the biggest house, so it was always my grandma and them that had the biggest house, so we would always venture over to their houses and do everything. That's why we had Christmas breakfast, Christmas dinner. We'd be over there the rest of the night. After breakfast, we go home, change, come back, and then we have dinner. And after that, we pretty much be over there the whole night, just talking, laughing, reminiscing about old Christmases and stuff like that. Just all of that. So then my grandma then moved out from up there, and then shortly after that my granddaddy passed, and we continued the tradition over at the new apartments. And I think they was over there for a couple years, and then they moved. And I think they was in their new house. They was over there for more than a couple years. They were over there probably about 8 years, because in that time my other auntie moved in, and her kids moved in, and because of some other things that were going on. And then they said, okay, well we obviously need a house big enough to house everybody. So they eventually ended up all finding another house, and they all moved to that. And shortly thereafter, maybe a couple months, maybe like after a year, my grandma ended up passing, and they're still there, but my grandma ended up passing, so she didn't get to spend a lot of time in the new house or see a lot of it, because at that point my grandma wasn't able to do much for herself. Pretty much everything that needed to be done for her, it pretty much fell on us. So like she couldn't get up and go to the bathroom anymore, so we basically had to change her and stuff like that. She couldn't sit up no more, so we basically had to like rotate her around and do certain things with her. We had to feed her. Just about anything that she pretty much needed, we had to do for her. She really wasn't able. She was very functional, but she was able to talk and everything. She could tell you anything, but her body was deteriorating. It wasn't the same. It started with her knees, and her knees deteriorated slowly, and then after that, and I really feel like it kind of got worse when she sat down, like when she stopped working and stuff like that. That's when it got worse for her. And she didn't do it after my granddaddy died. But yeah. And so then she passed, and then we kept the tradition going. So never fails. Every year we go to my auntie's house, and they call us like it's like clockwork. Every year we get up, my mama get up, and we sit around for a little while, and we'll wait to open gifts, because we just take all our gifts and go over there, because most of the gifts that we have are for them. So we just take the gifts. Hold on, y'all. It's like clockwork. We'll wait to open all the gifts so we can open it all as the family, and with auntie house. So usually what happens is they'll call us. Like, me and mama don't really wake up like that, especially now. We don't really wake up like that, so they usually call us like, "Oh, y'all up yet?" "No, we still in the bed." And my mama come back here and she'll say, "Yeah, come on, let's go to auntie them house." They waiting on us to come over there so we can all open gifts together. And my auntie throw on some coffee. They'll cook breakfast and everything, because that's really what we so they'll put coffee on, because like I said, my mom is a coffee addict. She does not function without coffee. If you try to have a conversation with my mama in the morning before she's had her coffee, you're gonna get a real mean attitude. It won't be pretty for nobody. So anyway, we all venture over there. So this one particular Christmas, it never failed. We always do this. We do the same thing every time. This one particular Christmas, we went over there like we always do. We had breakfast and everything. We opened presents, and I want to say this was maybe the first Christmas after my grandma passed. I want to say that this was the last year, the year before. I don't remember it being last year, so I think maybe it was the year before last this happened. I think it might have been the second year after my grandma had passed, and we were all at the house, so we had just finished opening gifts, and it was kind of like falling into the evening time, like the afternoon. So what we do was, after everybody ate breakfast and we opened gifts and everything, we'd sit and talk for a little while and just be together and enjoy our time together. And then like my mama is basically the pastry chef in the family, and my other auntie is the cook in the family. So she cooks everything, and she cooks all like the food, and my mama cooks all desserts. So sometimes like at night, like usually the holidays is her busiest time of year, she makes all the cakes, and she don't just make cakes and stuff for us, she make it for other people too. Like I know recently she had to make cakes to take to work for people, cakes for my auntie them to take to work to people. People just come out the woodworks asking my mama for cakes and stuff, cupcakes, and I've already plotted her to make my cupcakes for my birthday, because she made chocolate cupcakes recently, this past year, this past couple months ago, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Them chocolate cupcakes was everything, absolutely everything. And so I have volunteered her to make me stuff for my birthday, and she has graciously agreed, because she's my mama and she'll do it for me. So this particular Christmas is no different. So I think we had to get home anyway, because my mom had to finish up something she was making to take over there. And so we always do this. So we'll always go home for about a couple hours, and we usually anytime we have like an event or something like that, we usually don't eat till around about 3. That's just how we do. We don't eat till around about 3, because that gives my auntie time to cook, get the food together. Because if she ain't too busy, she start preparing for it like days earlier, and then the night before she'll start like sticking stuff in the oven, like the ham or the macaroni and cheese or the dressing, because some things have to cook overnight just so it'll be ready in time. Like ham, you pretty much have to start preparing it the day before and cook that. Prepare it the day before and cook it early in the morning. So like the ham could be cooking from anywhere to 8 in the morning to about 3 in the afternoon, depending on when you start it. And like stuff like collard greens, stuff like that, they don't take that long to cook. So she would have been preparing that food all morning. And then stuff like dressing and macaroni and cheese don't take that long to cook either. But Anyway, so we was getting ready, and I remember us because we had like a lot of stuff in our hands. I think we brought maybe like 2 cakes over there, because we was already done with 2 of the cakes, so we just brought them over there and left them so we wouldn't have that much to carry out when we was leaving out to come back over there later on that evening. And I remember us getting out the car, but I had stuff in my hands, so I wasn't really paying attention to my mom, because when she got the car, I guess she just assumed that she had everything. And when she got the car, she locked the doors, and I locked the door. It's the thing, we locked the doors anytime we got the car, so we locked the doors, and we go in the house, and we going about our Christmas morning like we always do, and we do everything we always do on Christmas morning. And so it's time for us to leave. I'm sorry. It's time for us to leave, so we leaving. We trying to head home so Mama can finish up the rest of the stuff. My auntie can finish the stuff, and we can get ready and come back over there at 3, which would have been in a couple hours at that point. I think it was like 11 when we left at that point. So it would have been like a couple hours we would have came back. So we heading out the house, and my mama said, Mom looked up and said, yeah, you seen my keys? You seen my keys? I said, oh, Mom. I said, did you give them out the car? She said, I don't know. So we looking. So we got everybody in the house looking for my mama's key. Because my mama, sometimes my mama would throw me her purse, but sometimes she like lay them around, just depending. So we got everybody in the house looking for the keys. Where you put the keys at? Where you put the keys at? Where you put the keys at? Mom like, I don't know. I remember. I said, Mama, please don't tell me you left the keys in the car. My mama had already done it like 3 times before that. Already, she had done it. And it was I don't know what it was about her and locking her keys in the car, but that was just like a kind of regular occurrence with her at that point. I mean, it was so bad to the point that my auntie told her she needed to get an extra key and give it to her, so that if it happened again, she would have another spare key so she could get into her car. And she finally broke down and went and got a spare key and gave it to my auntie. Thank God for my auntie. My auntie was thanking. She said, Tracy, you really need to get another key and give it to me, so you'll always have a backup key. So at this point, I think my auntie had been getting on to her about, cause since the first time she did it. So she was getting on to her. She's like, Tracy, you really need to go ahead and get another key made, so I can keep a key on hand for you. And she was like, I am. And so at this point, she hadn't done it yet. She procrastinates. And everything. I think this is the first time that she hasn't procrastinated. Mom is the biggest procrastinator you will ever meet in your life. She will wait till the last minute to do just about everything. I remember I used to get so irritated at her around Christmas time, because I just knew that she was gonna wait dead up until the last minute to go get all the gifts. I remember one year we went out, and she had to go get every last gift, all my gifts. She waited up until the last minute, Christmas Eve, and went and got every gift that I needed, every gift that I asked for, every gift that she intended to give me. She got it Christmas Eve. Now, I don't know how you find anything in them stores on Christmas week. Let me tell you something. I've been shopping since October, and I've been catching it, trying to find stuff for my family members. I only got one more gift to get, but still. It's hard enough to shop for people, but then trying to wait up to the last minute to do it, that's even harder. But anyway, so we at the house, and we trying to leave. And Mom looking for her keys. I said, Mom, please don't tell me you like the keys in the car. And she said, I don't know, go check. I go outside, and sure enough, where the keys at, and then this shit in the car. Luckily, the car was locked, so nobody couldn't hop in there and drive off in it anyway. But even if they did, they couldn't have got it out the parking lot because it's a stick. So good luck with that if you know how to drive when you got a car, but if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. So I go out to the car, and sure enough, the keys in the ignition in the car, and the doors are locked. I mean, all the doors. I go back, I said, Mama. She said, they in the ignition, ain't it? I said, yep. How you know? She said, I just had a feeling they was in the car. So I said, okay, what we gonna do? So my auntie ex-husband, he a mechanic of sorts. He a mechanic, ain't no of sorts. He a mechanic, and he don't help my mama get her keys out the car before, but I guess they couldn't get in touch with him this day. So we probably called everybody we could think of. My uncle, anybody we could think of, we would call them, ask them could they help us get the key out of the car. And you know, Christmas Day, most businesses are closed. Most places aren't open on Christmas Day. So it was only by a miracle that we was able to get somebody to come out there and get that key out the car. But anyway, my auntie started calling around to locksmiths, and locksmiths are open on Christmas Day, but the amount of money they charge to come out on the holiday is ridiculous. I know one was like $105, one was like $55, one was $80, $90. They was expensive as hell. Too expensive for a locksmith. So my mama didn't want to. My mama was debating on whether she would just wait, because my uncle was like, he was coming back, because he wasn't down, he wasn't in town, he was out of town, but he was coming back, and she was debating whether she wanted to wait or not for him to come, because she really didn't want to drop that kind of money to get the key out the car. And so my auntie was like, well, don't worry about it, Tracy, I'll go ahead and I'll cover you this, I'll cover you for this, but as soon as you can, you need to go ahead and get another key made, so just in case this happens again, just like that. My mom said, you want to pay that kind of money for a locksmith to come out here? My mom was like, you want to pay that kind of money? She said, if you want to, you can, but I wouldn't. My mom was a cheapskate, y'all. She don't like to spend no money. I think the cheapest one was like $55, but I just called them back and asked them, can they come out? So my auntie called the locksmith, and he come out, and he get the car. He get the car unlocked, and he get the key out the car. And my auntie paid him in, and y'all, I think that was like the third time that year that happened to us, that she had locked her keys in the car. And the one of the worst days of all days to do it was Christmas Day. She did that bull crap. I don't know what, I just got so irritated with her for doing it. I said, why do you always do this? This is like the third time this year you've done that. And she said, I can't help it. She a trip. I'm a trip, y'all. But yep, that was the time I'm gonna lock the key in the car on Christmas Day. We had to call a locksmith out to come and unlock the car and get the key out the car. I'm trying to think, did anything else crazy ever happen to us on Christmas Day? Nah. My Christmases with my family usually be pretty mellow, except for last year. I had been in contact with my sister for a minute, and she came and saw us, and I might do a story time on that after Christmas and everything, and just tell you about what was going on, how that came about. But I think that was it for this story time. I wanted to do a haul, I really did, but after I filmed, I didn't like the way it looked. I might look at it again, and maybe I can fix it a little bit to make it better. But if I can't, then I just won't worry about giving y'all that haul. I might give y'all another one, because I'm forever on Fashion Nova shopping. There's never a moment when I'm not on there. So I will be back on there again, getting something else pretty soon, probably. But I think that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think, what you want to hear, what you want to see, and I will do my very, very best to make that happen for you. Like my earrings, Fashion Nova, baby, Fashion Nova. Cute Sagittarius. I think this is gonna be like my little mood for like the next 2 weeks, because my birthday in like 2 weeks on December 14th. So this is gonna be a whole mood for like the next 2 weeks, and maybe after the 2 weeks I will still be rocking these earrings, just cause they're a whole vibe to me. I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling like Sag season. I just feel like it's good things in the works for us, and just y'all be on y'all best for next year. 2021, I feel like gonna be 2020 was a really hard year just because of everything that's going on, but 2021 is coming in full effect. It's over with. But like I said, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you want to see, what you want to have. I will do my very, very best to make that happen for you. And I'll see you next one. Bye.